Welcome to this episode. Subscribe as soon as possible. The Rift Symbiote. Fragmentary chapter of the Blood Oath Pact. Chapter 1. The Glaze Light Pact. The museum corridor during the plum rain season exudes a cold white light. Lu Chen's fingertips hover above the rook-hill porcelain washer for the third time. Under the magnifying glass, the crackle patterns resemble a solidified galaxy, stretching out 12 main veins beneath the glaze layer. This is in exact accordance with the description of 12 star rings in his father's diary. However, the 13th faint and elusive hidden pattern remains difficult to capture. Mr. Lu, it's time to close the museum. The security guard's voice comes from behind the display cabinet. Instinctively, Lu Chen covers the blood stain on the edge of the porcelain washer with his cuff. The blood was accidentally dripped during the repair this morning and is now seeping into the body of the porcelain at a visible rate. The glass reflects the furrow between his brows. The action he has repeated for 30 years suddenly feels different. When the tweezers holding kintsugi powder touch the crack, the porcelain washer suddenly emits a buzzing sound, and the LED lights of the display cabinet flash erratically, turning into a snow-like screen. Lu Chen stumbles and steadies himself by holding the display cabinet. He sees his blood gathering into a star map on the surface of the porcelain washer. The 12 main patterns light up one by one, finally converging in the center to form the outline of the Cishan mine cave. Don't move. A female voice comes from behind, carrying a mixed scent of sandalwood and rust. As Lu Chen turns around, he sees a woman in a dark green cheongsam pressing her palm against the display cabinet glass. The birthmark on her wrist, a butterfly-shaped red patch, is resonating with the star map of the porcelain washer, projecting a deep blue holographic image into the air. Qingluan? Lu Chen blurts out. This name comes from an old photo tucked in his father's diary. The girl in the photo has the same brow bone curvature as the woman in front of him. The woman's fingertips slide across the glass and crack like patterns spread across the display cabinet lock. The electronic lock emits a humming sound of overcurrent. The 13th generation mirror master. You're exactly where I expected. Her voice holds an ancient charm that doesn't belong to this era. Old scars on her calf are revealed at the slit of the cheongsam, radiating out in an irregular pattern of 12 lines, which perfectly matches the sketch of the vessel burn marks in Lu Chen's father's notes. Suddenly, the buzzing sound of the porcelain washer changes pitch. Dark red liquid seeps out from the bottom of the display cabinet, outlining the shape of the Liangzhu jade Kong on the ground. Lu Chen takes a half step back, his lower back touching the spare display cabinet. He feels the bronze eyepiece left by his father, a keepsake passed down through generations of mirror masters, which is getting hot in his pocket. Didn't your father tell you not to let personal emotions get involved when restoring cultural relics? Qingluan's pupils suddenly constrict. Only then does Lu Chen notice the golden patterns swirling in her eyes. The blood oath has been triggered. There are 72 hours left until the autumn equinox. A thunderclap explodes outside the window, and the museum's emergency lights come on immediately. Lu Chen touches the dent at the bottom of the porcelain washer, where half a line of Sogdian script is engraved, identical to the scrawled writing at the end of his father's diary. Flaws are doors. Only blood can open them. Just as Qingluan's fingertips are about to touch the porcelain washer, ice crack patterns suddenly appear on the display cabinet glass, each pattern absorbing her body heat. They're coming! Qingluan suddenly grabs Lu Chen's wrist. The skin under her cheongsam is burning hot. The people from the association won't let the porcelain washer leave the museum. The surveillance camera on the ceiling turns towards them. In the reflection of the camera lens, Lu Chen sees figures moving. They are wearing black windbreakers with glaze, drop-shaped badges embroidered on the cuffs, exactly the mark of the Glaze Color Association, as recorded in his father's notes. Qingluan breaks the jade bracelet on her wrist. When the fragments fall to the ground, they form a map of the Cishan mine cave. Blood beads seeping from the cracks float in the air, forming an arrow pointing towards the mirror abyss. Take this. Qingluan stuffs half a Liangzhu jade bai into Lu Chen's palm. His birth date is engraved on the inner side of the jade bai. The stele forest in the mirror abyss can block geothermal vein tracking. I'll lead them away. Before Lu Chen can respond, the display cabinet suddenly explodes. The porcelain washer hovers in the air current. Lu Chen's blood and Qingluan's birthmark glow simultaneously, piecing together a complete star map on the surface of the porcelain washer. It is the starry sky of Cishan at the time of the autumn equinox, with the coordinates of the mirror abyss marked in the center. Remember, don't trust anything that seems perfect. Qingluan's voice is drowned out by the siren. As she turns around, Lu Chen sees a newly oozing blood mark on the back of her neck, in the exact shape of the 13th hidden pattern of the porcelain washer. When the members of the Glaze Color Society break through the window, Lu Chen instinctively raises the bronze eyepiece. The porcelain washer reflected in the mirror suddenly shatters and then recombines, projecting an image of the 1998 Cishan mine disaster onto his retina. His father is pushing the porcelain washer into a hidden compartment, and as he turns around, he is shot by a figure holding a Sogdian bronze crossbow. The badge on the cuff of that person is identical to that of the approaching killer. The son of Liangzhu? The leading killer flips open his windbreaker, revealing a mechanical prosthesis on his chest. Hand over the porcelain washer, and we'll spare your life. Lu Chen retreats to the fire escape. The porcelain washer suddenly emits a shrill scream. The glass of all display cabinets simultaneously reflects Qingluan's figure. She is engaged in a fight with another group of killers in the third-floor corridor. Every crack she touches turns into a sharp blade, slicing through the killer's mechanical prostheses. The blood of the mirror master, the tears of the vessel, and the core of the geothermal veins. None can be missing. The killer pulls the trigger, but the crossbow bolt shatters into powder when it touches the corner of Lu Chen's clothes. Do you think you can break the cycle? The previous 12 civilizations all perished while chasing after flaws. Lu Chen suddenly remembers the last page of his father's diary. For the 13th experimental subject, the key lies in acceptance, not repair. He presses the porcelain washer against the crack of the fire hydrant. The mixture of blood and rust reveals the secret writing of Song Dynasty kill workers on the wall, the coded message left by Qingluan when she was the Glaze Core. Qingluan, he rips open his collar, revealing the light gold patterns below his collarbone, the sign of the awakening of the mirror master gene. Rotate the porcelain washer counter clockwise and align it with the Earth core frequency. Qingluan responds with a high kick. The hem of her cheongsam splits open, revealing a star sand bottle tied to her thigh, exactly the Song Dynasty artifact Lu Chen saw during the resonance experiment. The moment the star sand is spilled, all the killer's mechanical prostheses malfunction simultaneously, and crackle patterns identical to those of the porcelain washer appear on the metal surface. Go! Qingluan throws out a blood mist and draws Liangzhu witch patterns on the ground. The moment Lu Chen steps on the patterns, the porcelain washer and the bronze eyepiece resonate simultaneously, sucking them both into a whirlpool of geothermal vein energy. As the museum's alarm fades into the distance, in a state of weightlessness, Lu Chen finally sees the 13th hidden pattern of the porcelain washer clearly. It is an incomplete curve with a tiny blood dot at the end, like a comma waiting to be filled. Qingluan's birthmark leaves an imprint on his arm. At the same time, in the core of Cishan, thousands of miles away, the 13th edge of a bronze tripod-shaped device begins to grow slowly. Andre sneers in front of the monitoring screen, his fingertips tapping on the leather-bound notebook. The latest page reads, "The 13th generation Mirror Master and the vessel have made contact. The defect rate fluctuates by 37.2%. Initiate the second phase of the new atom project." In the laboratory behind him, the perfect embryo immersed in the nutrient solution opens its eyes, and the holographic image of the Rookhill porcelain washer is reflected in its pupils. The rain stops. Faint star, sand-like light seeps out from the cracks in the museum's outer wall. Lu Chen catches the falling Qingluan at the entrance of the mirror abyss. Her cheongsam is soaked in blood, but it heals instantly upon touching the mirror master token. The rumble of Cishan can be heard in the distance, a sign of the awakening of the geothermal vein core. They'll come. King inserts the jade by into the stone gate. Liangzhu characters flow on the stone wall. The previous 12 civilizations all failed because they were afraid of the rifts. But this time, ... We have the right to choose. Lu Chen tightens his grip on the porcelain washer. The light seeping from the cracks illuminates the steely forest in the mirror abyss. Among the names of mirror masters through the ages, the name Lu Chen is finally complete. Flaws are not curses. They are the beginning of symbiosis. Qingluan smiles. The golden patterns in her pupils overlap with Lu Chen's mirror, master patterns, projecting a complete symbiotic totem onto the stone gate. When the first ray of sunlight of the autumn equinox shines through the Cishan mine cave, the 13th crack of the Rook Hill porcelain washer finally takes shape, the first comma that human civilization writes in the cosmic geothermal veins. This episode ends here. The next one will be even more exciting. Subscribe now